dokie, I think we've got that going. I'm not sure if you can... Oh, you can just see the cursor. Okay, cool. We're going to be doing a little bit of art today. I got some music going in the background, so I'll ask occasionally if it is too loud or too quiet. But yeah, apart from that, I'm just going to get into working on a little bit of art that I've kind of been neglecting. So let's just, yeah, see how this turns out, I suppose. Once I've got the things blocked out, I never know really how to jump into it and start, so it always makes it a bit difficult for me, because I guess we'll just... I think I'll start with the body. Don't start with the body enough. Crap, what was the... I think I was going for this kind of a top. Okay. That little bit of a neckline going. Yeah, that looks alright. No, I can probably do better than that. I feel like it's just missing a little something as well. What if I were to make it a bit softer? There you go, something like this. Alright, this is looking pretty alright, if I do say so myself. Do I still want it ending in that way though? No, I think I might just make it a bit lower. Makes things a hell of a lot easier. Okay. Although I don't like how that sticks out. Get rid of that and that. Okay, not looking too bad. Though we're basically getting closer to this kind of a design. But I'll rethink that once I get the sleeves in here, because what I've got going on is this is our dynamic pose. So I did a bit of mixing and matching to see what felt good for the character, and came across liking the coat here and most of this outfit, and I really liked the sandals, so that's what we're going to be trying to do today. Trying to work that all in together. Just speaking of, how... Okay, we got a little bit of that going on. Got it. What I'll do is, because this is going to be a bit of a reference sheet, it's going to sort of split it down the middle, have half with the jacket and half with it off, just so that it's a bit easier to tell. So let's continue on with it like so. And I reckon going just below the hands should be good. I think it come out here. so that there are pockets that are easily accessible. Yeah, that looks good. How does this one come to an end? Kind of like that. Okay, that's pretty good. Right, and in this one I kind of made it a bit thicker so that it's more in line with a jacket like this. Ooh. Like this. Okay, so with that being said, do I need to adjust this at all? I think making it the teensy bit shorter. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and that'll be where it connects back up to. What's going on there? Lost my sensitivity there for a second. Now to make way for the buttonholes. Might actually make that a bit harder to see with that. Actually, might just get rid of that. How thick are we going? Not too ridiculously thick. Okay, and then we just go in and do the buttonholes. Oop. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Fit one more in. Because why not? How is that looking? I think I can accentuate that a bit more. Oh, thank you, Kimmy Marie Wingard. Thank you for following and liking. A fellow person from Brisbane. Nice. Okay, so with that, come in here and touch this up a little bit. Theoretically, this would be continuing up here with the buttons going up as well. Cool. So then when this comes in, kind of want it to be a little bit longer. There we go. Then we can erase this stuff. Awesome, let's give that a look. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Make it a bit easier for you to see. That's kind of what we're working with. So that way the coat's got the nice button outline, and then we can figure out what we're doing with the neck later on. Okay, on to the sleeves, which do get a bit wide, and I did make the mistake of making it look like that instead of just a flat design over there like that, because I gave this design to the pants and I kind of want to continue that over with the jacket. So let's jump right into doing that sleeve. Where do we want that to end? About midway up the forearm. Should be about here-ish. Armpit's about there. Mid forearms there. If I erase anything, let's have a look. Okay, not too bad. Probably just do some minor adjustments to it. There we go. I can work on getting rid of this. Okay. We can tidy this up a bit more, I think. I see we've got a few likes coming in. Thanks for all the likes. That there, and insinuate where the pocket is. How's that looking? Yeah. I feel I can adjust that pocket a bit more. In line with everything else, and then just Ugh. Bit shorter. There we go. How's this look? Yeah, a little bit better. Oh, thanks, Lay, and I hope you have a good day as well. And I appreciate the likes that you were giving. Okay, with that, I'm going to just make a copy of that for later in case if I messed things up too badly. And try it out with a different color. Okay, so the other color I was considering was this one, because it does go with the pants. But yeah, I've never done too much with this kind of outfit, so I'm going a bit out of my comfort zone. So let's give it a try, at the very least. See if we can spice it up a bit, because that would then come in there and go down like that. And be tucked in. Yeah, I'm not sure which one to go with. No, I reckon we can adjust it a little bit so it doesn't look super skin tight, because I think that's where it's looking a little bit off. Gonna make it look a bit more comfy. Let's see, so how would someone put one of these on? Possibly with a button? Because I don't want to go full turtleneck. I feel that's a bit too much. What if it was just like a very thin turtleneck? I feel like the ridges make it feel too thick. Maybe if I just leave it at that. Then we come down here. It's something I don't usually try, but we can try and give him a bit more of a crop top maybe. So instead of it being tucked in, comes down here and have a flat sitting crop top with some definition. Not definition, but you can see the shape. Alright, and then because I want to try and keep the arms and stuff a bit separate, so that way I've got this the way I like, that way I'm not just having to erase around it, and I can just draw on top of it in a different layer. For now we'll go with this idea with the crop top mentality. Call it. So I probably should make that a bit shorter, if that's the case. Was that a bit too short? Where do I have the belt coming to? Yeah, about there. So I raise this. Because we have it just sitting above the belt, that should work. Oof. Awesome, then I can bring this down a bit further and have it stop about here. Now in the dynamic pose, I do have like the ribbon showing up, but I want to try it without that, just to see how that looks. The idea is for it to be like real nice, comfy, breathable, baggy sort of pants. Should come down like so. Do this so I can try and keep both ends of the pants the same length. Okay, I think that looks to be about the correct height. And should be somewhere around here. And I'm a sucker for pockets. Being able to just shove anything and everything on my pockets because I'm just a fan because of my ADD. It's handy just to be able to put it down on me, then I can find it easier. So because of that, pockets should be about here and just peeking out there. These ones are on the thigh. Seeing a bunch of likes. We've just about made 1,000 likes. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good for the pocket. Oh, we're over 1,000 likes. That's what I like to see. A lot of likes going around. Awesome. So that's that done. And because I'm lazy, we're just going to assume that that translates to being hidden by the coat. Excellent, excellent. So next, we just need to bring this down just a bit. this up. If I soften it like so, it should look a bit better. This looks a bit sharp. I'll make this a bit rounder as well. Okay, I think that is looking pretty good. I might fix up around here because it looks like they're leaning over this way. But I'll have a big stretch and a sip of juice and I'll be right back. Alright, so back to it. I'm pretty happy with the pants for now. Might adjust them later, but I do want to immediately bring my attention to this. It looks a bit wonky. So I think what I need to do is just adjust this side to be... maybe bring this up a little bit as well. How's that look? A bit better. I can work with that. Now, I did like how it came up, but I think it's coming up a bit too much. Because I want it to look a bit flatter, a bit more straight. Let's have a look at that in comparison. Yeah, I like that better and how that's, because we've got this versus that sort of, like it's not that extreme down there, but that's the sort of feeling that my eye's getting when I observe what I've done. Let's go ahead and flip that. How's that? Too straight? No, that should work. That should work. If I just... do that. Hey, that looks good. Okay. So next I'll... no, don't want to do that. Okay. Alrighty, so now we're just into putting the body together. Should have the legs, ankle. This is like a way of doing legs that I really like from One Piece, because I don't know, like you often see legs and it seems, or at least my memory recollection is that oftentimes there's no that leg hair. I want to try and bring some of that to my art, bring some of that leg hair back. We got the heel. And then this is where my anatomy goes off the rails, because I'm still fairly horrible at doing feet and hands and such. See, it looked okay there, and then I'm just trying to add this part in. It looks like a second heel. Oosh. Wee. Okay, I think that's the best I'm getting, and because it's the best I'm likely to get, I'm just gonna cheat a little. Got that already, so if I just magic. Just like magic. Cool. What did the shoe look like? Okay, that should be fairly easy enough to do. If I use the right brush. See, so was it below or above the ankle? I forget. Below the ankle, I see. Let's put that there. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Just a little bauble or whatever I'll make it be. Be a bit more circular. Getting a few of the toes. Yeah, I think that looks fairly good. Then just going to do a rough outline for the sandal. That looks like trash. Not going to keep that up. What if I were to separate out the heel? So if the heel goes there. The heel's there. Want the ball of the foot occupy this area. Just do this to give it some texture. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And just repeat. If I don't push my screen away. Alright. I feel like that's a bit too fat right there, so let's bring that back a few steps. There we go, it looks a bit better. A bit more shapely. Okay, that looks pretty good. Toes look like trash, but that's a thing for another time. Okay, next we need to focus on the hands. them going to about there. Get rid of that so I can focus solely on the hand, which I am fearing. Fearing something fierce. Okay, not a bad thumb. Oof. Big oof. Okay. What can we do to make that better? I think we can give it a bit more of a curve. Let's do the classic merging of the middle two fingers. You can go by yourself, and you can also go by yourself. Go. Then that looks a bit too long. So let's do some jigsaw pieces. That's looking a little bit more hand-like. Yeah. So let's over on that side. Okay, and with that, should look a little bit more like. I'll just do this. Have a bonk. Okay, that should look a little bit better. Might rotate it around a little bit. It's not much of a difference, but I think that looks a bit better there. No, I think I'll just leave it for now. I'll leave it and keep working on the rest of the body. Because if I do a good enough job on the other side, I can just copy it over. This one. Yep. Ah, Don't have black selected, that's why. That would be pretty handy to have selected. I'm looking to make him kind of lanky, but built kind of like the Spider-Man type of character. That way, if like you saw them in person, you'd be like, they're kind of average. But then when you go to the beach and they take their shirt off, you're like, oh, okay, they must do some form of sport. Nothing dramatic. Okay, I think that looks fine. And because I really don't want to deal with hands right now, I'm just gonna. There we go, that's for future Liam to deal with. For now, we're going to deal with the head. I think I decided to give him a bit more of a rounder head. So we'll work with that in mind. Means that I should be about there. Usually what I like to do with the noses is sort of like give them an undershadow, but I'm thinking that's not going to work here because it's a bit too close in, so it'll just end up looking like a dog's nose that's mostly black. So I'm just going to have to try and just do the outline. Ooh. I think it was eyes like something like that. That's a bit too far away. We need it closer. Okay, so that's not looking too bad so far. Bunch of compromises being made with certain aspects. We could probably raise that up. Okay, I think that looks pretty on model. Now, did I make the ears too big? Potentially, but I think we can get away with it. Only just getting away with it. That, or I need to make the head bigger. Which I don't think should be a problem. There we go, the hair takes care of it. Ugh. That was too egg-shaped and not enough rounded-shaped. Looks a little better. So our boy is working with some tied-up hair. Normally I'd be inclined to put the bun and stuff over this side to indicate that he has a bun, but because we got the jacket going on, to balance things out, I think I'm just gonna there we go. Get rid of that and okay, looks okay. I might bring down the hairline a little bit. Yeah, it is a bit wonky over on this side, so I'll fix that up and then that should be the hair done. Flatten that out a little bit. Okay, I think that looks better. Awesome. So, yeah, I gotta deal with this. How to deal with that? So I'm not very happy about that hand. I feel it can be done better. But I am overall pretty happy with the outfit design. I don't mind the high neck crop top weird top thing that I've got going on there. I might just adjust some of these. Yep. Good thing I tried to erase it so I could make sure I'm on the right layer for other stuff. In fact, if I just... yeah, that looks a bit better. Yeah, I'll just leave it. Now, should we adjust that? Like, I don't really wear singlets, even though I am in Australia. I'm not really sure how to do the sleeves. Think that looks right? I can correct it later if it's not. Okay. What I might do is just quickly save these. Or copy them, I should say. Merge them into one. That. And yes, apply that. That. And then the fun part of erasing a bunch of stuff to make it the back portion of the guide, or whatever it would be called. Brain's not braining at the moment. So let's start over here. That, and we've got the back of the arm. Should be dealing with the elbow. That going like that. In which case we should have something a bit more akin to that. Ooh. And this is just creepy. This is creeping. Lots and lots of erasing. Remove the chin and turn it into the back of the head. That's the jaw coming in from over there, and connect up all these lines. Cool. And that looks good there. Oh, what muscles are on the back? I need to look that up. It's going to look like I'm doing nothing, but I'm looking up some stuff. Okay, let's go into images. Sure, we'll just go with this one. So that comes down from there. So from there we'd have something that looks a bit like that. Then going up there and then into there. Okay. That should be simple enough. Just this slightly so it looks different from the front. Make this into something more like... No, it has to be about here. Pockets will be close to the front, so that can just go over there. And you can peek around just a little bit. Okay, definitely getting rid of you. Make room for this to come around here and... Actually, because that's like that at the front. It's going down like that at the front, which would indicate that it's built a bit more like this, so we should only see this section here. So it comes up to about here. Cool. So I just went silent there, just focusing on the erasure of things. Because the sleeve's going to be more at the front. Need to keep in mind where the collar is, so we can do this. Yeah, don't want to do that. Do want to continue erasing this stuff. Do that to indicate a little bit more that it's not just someone wearing half a jacket, but is one half of a whole. Okay. And then the interesting part, the feet. Let's give them a soft little fade out for now. Okay. I'd say the back is looking fairly decent at the moment. Make sure to get rid of that. Okay, so I'm just examining it, seeing what I think. I think that's fairly alright. Yeah. Because it's a bit of a basic silhouette. I think that really stands out. Fairly boxy, humanoid looking character. No outlandish main character hair or anything, but it's kind of what I'm going for. Oh, getting an inactivity thing. Let me just do this real quick. Okay, glad we could avoid the live ending. Got a bit of an inactivity alert. But back into the fray. Let's adjust the collar a bit more. And that would... Ooh, not like that. Okay, how's that? Yeah, that gives it a bit better form, for lack of a better brain word. Oh, but we can indicate that it's curving around there a bit better. Means that would be there and that would be there. Just to try and keep up with things being consistent. Okay, so don't know what I'm doing with that, so just something ugly. Something ugly just to get it past inspection. Thumbs are on the inside, so we want that is hard. I'll just leave it like that for now, just to get it out the door. Okay. Next, the feet. We've got the heel about here. Wouldn't really see that, and then the rest of the foot going out that way. That's the outside, so it's going to be the small toe going into the larger stuff, then the big toe. I'd like it to be known that I will not nor ever say that I'm good at doing feet. But if I play my cards just right... Ugh, that's a horrid looking ankle. Before I do that, I'll just go ahead and erase this. So I'm going to copy the entire thing. And to make it look a bit more interesting, redo all of that. Okay. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. Might come in here and quickly do some of the toes. Even if they look a bit blocky, I think that's fine. Awesome. Looking pretty good now. Yeah, I have to do the hands at some point because they're the actual last thing to do. Because, yeah, I only wanted to do a bit of a quicker stream. Just something small so I can get through doing the front and the back. Make it feel like I'm not doing it alone, you know? So maybe if we start with the back, it might be a bit easier. So we've got that part, then the rest of the palm, and the thumb, and the pinky. I was going to stand up and have a look at my hand. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's as I thought. We kind of, so I'm basically doing it. Oh, that's incorrect. I'm basically trying to draw it and it's coming out looking real flat. But when we stand naturally, because I always forget this when I'm drawing, I always seem to lose all my knowledge. Instead of it being flat, the hand sort of curves and cups as it's sort of sitting there. Something like that. Just shade the outside. So it curves and cups while it's sitting there in its natural state. Which is what I'm not doing with any of this. So I've got to get my shapes in order. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so that being said, I think I'm going to need a sketch layer. Okay, bust out the sketch layer. Get the pinky sorted, and then the ring finger would be going in behind, and that one, the index finger going behind that, the thumb sort of sitting like that. There we go. That looks marginally better. Marginally better. Now, if anything, I should be fixing up this forearm because it's looking a little bit sickly. Bring that up to a bit of a better elbow. Ugh. Yeah, it looks like it's been stretched out, so I need to bring that in closer. That or... No, I need to bring it in closer. Just having a look to see if I should have extended any other part of the arm, but... Should be as simple as doing this, and then... Okay, I think that's good. Should be cupping a bit more though. To raise a few lines. Not my best handiwork, but it will do. Now we do want this to keep as we flip it over and go. Oh, wrong pen. Okay, I think that looks a bit better. Bit better. Yeah, that actually looks like the back of a person's body now. Well, at first glance. I'm sure there's things that I have missed, but that's A-okay. Next, I'm just gonna erase the forearm over here. Over here. And then bring it over. Almost tempted to keep it as is, but that will not fly in the long run. Okay, we've got the basic shape going there. I think I need to bring this up a bit more. And that should be good enough. So if I erase this part. Go to our buffer. Add a bit more of a buffer. Control T, keep original and flip. Yeah, I'll get rid of that momentarily. Okay, gotta stretch out my chair, decided to sink down again. That would be that, and we can do better than that. Go back to the buffer. Oof. Just noticed something. I wonder if you just noticed, or if you've noticed for a while. I really should have rotated that because it's going out that way. So I'm gonna adjust this to bring it more in line to be over here. And this one just to rotate a little bit. Starting with you, Buckaroo. Don't keep. Cool, that's fine. And what I might actually do is, because I like this other hand better, delete. Ah. Control T, keep, and switch. Okay, I think that's good. Get some more hairs in there. Okay, and then that there. And I think that's everything. Get rid of that. Awesome. So, yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit more so it's a bit easier to see. Bring those into frame. So yeah, this is the art that I've been working on today. So went ahead and made a front and back view for the character that I'm working on for my my little indie comic thing. I started with a bunch of like outfit ideas of various types. I always knew I wanted them to have a bit more of a baggy, sort of casual, light fit. I enjoyed the idea of them not wearing shoes that were too, not constrictive, but I guess fully enclosed. So I really liked the sandal idea that I had with this one, but the jacket and stuff felt a bit too active wear for the character. Once I drew it, I ended up just loving these pants and this jacket, because they kind of captured that idea of it being light, free-flowing and baggy. I almost basically went with it being totally this, but I've taken the coat, the top, these pants and these shoes, removed the belt and put them all into this, which I feel fairly happy about. So the coat would of course go to the other side, but for the purposes of showing off this shirt and what it'd look like with the arms, only having that sort of half covering. Speaking of, I think I'm just going to go up to the buffer and erase some of that going into there, here, and anything over there. Just to really drive home the full outfit without having to draw too much, because the coat's pretty much symmetrical. The only difference would be buttons, perhaps, which I wasn't sure how I wanted to design the buttons yet, so I kind of just left that out. But apart from that, it's come together fairly well. This is the little thing that I've been working on. Thanks for joining me as I did a little bit of a chill art stream. Hopefully it was enjoyable. Until later, thanks for watching. Make sure to get plenty of rest, drink plenty of water, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.